Hello and welcome to our Justice for Ronan Kanda first podcast. I'm going to start off by asking Pooja Kanda OBE, the leader of our campaign and the founder of it. How has the last 3 years been for you?
Hi, darling. And how I'm okay. Last 3 years. First of all, it's Pooja Kanda OBE for the world. For you, I'm always mummy, and it's been very painful years. It's been undescribable, to be honest, and me sitting here trying to describe it to the world, it is something in easy sense I'll make it for everyone is that nobody, and I'm not joking, nobody would want to be in this position, and I don't want to be in this position, and yet I am here. It's just scary how quickly our happiness has turned into grief for no fault of ours.
So let's actually take it back.
Yeah.
Because the last 3 years we know have been really painful.
Yeah.
But what kind of life were we living before this happened? Why don't you talk about that?
I want to talk about that. I really just to be honest, that's what I want to talk about, our life before. And that began for me when I had you and Ronan, and you into the house, and was a beautiful little bundle of joy, and you made me mum. Amazing, beautiful girl, and you always have been. Your characters always been shining through your baby, happy baby. I've always seen you as a happy child, and I need to describe you in this because you're the one who's made me mum.
Yeah.
And you're the one who's showed me what motherhood is about. And I remember when you were growing up and you needed that little companion, and that's when I thought, this is it. This is the right time. You were nearly five years old, and I had Ronan. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. So beautiful. I remember the moment he was born, holding that little joy on my body, and I felt that my heart has just popped out. Honestly, it's like literally my heart has just popped out. It was so beautiful, and I remember giving him to you. It was like you were natural. You were absolutely natural. You had no jealousy, did you? You had no problems from beginning. Like, there was a sibling jealousy I never saw between you and Ronan. And the best part of before life is being his mom and your mom, and also see you both growing up. How beautiful that relationship of a brother and sister is. And now I see, like, let's go back to the before one. You have to keep bringing me back.
I do, yeah. I was about to say, we're straying off topic, so we're talking more about what would you describe your life, your relationship with Ronan before this happened? Because, from my perspective, you had a really, I think, a really unique bond with Ronan.
You tell me, what do you think of a unique bond that I have with Ronan? Because it's really important to me to see myself from your eyes as well.
No, like, obviously, I'm the first child of 5 years difference between me and Ronan. I think I obviously grew up quite quickly. I'm not obviously a very touchy-feely person. And then obviously Ronan comes along and I see him always hugging you. He's always sitting there, Mum, give me a massage. He's always like, he's mummy's boy, really, isn't he? He's always been a big mummy's boy, and I love that. I mean, to be honest, we're both mummy's girl, mummy's boy from the beginning of our lives. But he absolutely adored you, Mum. He absolutely loved you. And I think the relationship you guys had was just it was really beautiful. I've never seen such a bond just full of love, like from a mum to a son and a son to a mum. Obviously, everyone loves their son, but it's different. My mum and my brother had a very different relationship. It was a very beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With you, when I go back to think about my life, it's like, to be honest, grief has really affected
It
my
confuses
memory.
you. It
It
actually
really does.
confuses
It confuses
you.
you. You're like in and out of your previous life to now life. You're not believing what's going on in your previous life to
And I
now.
think the last 3 years have just been like a big blur.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because so much has happened. And sorry, I keep saying 3 years, but it's going to be 4 years in June. June is only 3 months away. So, yeah, the past, I would say, even 4 years have just been a complete blur.
Yeah,
Because we went from 1 minute to having everything to 1 minute to practically having nothing.
So this is when you say to me, Mom, what your life has been 3 years, like 3.5 years ago. It was you, me, and Ronan. It was just 3 of us after my divorce. And I did bring up your kids. And honestly, the picture of our logo is, if people look at the picture of our logo, it's actually the period, the triumph that I was feeling like I have amazingly both of these 2 beautiful kids who are not just a son and a daughter, who are also amazing human beings. If you see yourself and Ronan from my eyes, I said it to Ronan as well, these things, that you don't know how good of a human being you both are. Because I see it. Not many people are like that. And I saw it. And I remember when leaving the hospital room and bringing Ronan and giving him to you, and then you playing your childhood is growing up, seeing your, Ronan and you were bonding together, playing together. Mm-hmm. And I remember, oh my God, the screamings in that house that we used to have. Amazing time that I used to say, Ronan, Nikita, would you just stop messing about? Would you just stop? I can see the chandelier moving like you're running out after each other, even though you're not kids anymore.
No, it's always been like that. And I think, like, for us, lockdown 2020 was like the best time
I think
ever. Like, we were literally at home eating whatever we want, playing PlayStation until like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were actually living like bums technically, but it was like the best time ever. And now I look back, I would do anything just to have that time again, to be honest. Our life before was just like really, really, really beautiful. Like when I look back, I think in the moment, I think one thing about us, like especially like myself, is it's never a case of, oh, you only know what you have until it's gone. That was never the case. I always knew what I had with Ronan. I always knew that he was just like the best brother, the best human anybody could ask for. Like, I feel so lucky to have like a brother like that. And I think like I would never ever like want more than what I already had back then.
So just tell me one memory of you and Ronan. No, the thing is, I think it's important for me to hear this from you as well, because even though we do talk a lot, sometimes we're not talking such intense moments between us. And to me, it's important to understand one memory that has stuck by you, just between you and Ronan. And I'll come back to more things as well. Tell me.
There's a lot of memories, but if I had to single one out, I would say one that really describes his character was probably, because like you said, grief really confuses you, swizzles your brain. So I can't really remember so many things, but I can remember just one thing that I really liked, which was when me and Ronan, obviously we were lying next to each other on the bed, and then I just started tickling him, and he started tickling me, and then I like accidentally kicked the hole through the hollow wall in my bathroom.
I remember that.
Next to the bathroom, and oh my God, I was panicking. I was like, what the hell? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he was like, don't worry. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I know what to do. I was like, okay, phew. Like Ronan's going to sort, he's got the solution. And he just comes and brings a picture and just puts it on the wall. On the hole. He doesn't even clean the debris. Like he's this.
No. I remember that.
The debris were all over the floor.
No. It wasn't just him. It was you as well.
Yeah, but
none of you cleaned the debris.
I wasn't gonna clean the debris because that's a bit long. Yeah, but anyways, and then he's like, I was like, Ronan, we can't do that. And he was like, okay, I got another solution. I was like, okay, cool. He's gonna sort it out. I don't know why, but I just thought he might like plaster it or something. And then he was like, come, let's go downstairs. And he went, Mum, how would you feel if there was a hole in the wall? And you just looked at him and you're like, what have you done? And you just like ran upstairs.
I need to tell the rest of the story.
Even you started laughing as well.
I need to tell this one. I remember it so clearly. This is the time I think I remember when the chandelier, I can see moving, and I knew that you adult kids, like, you know, big kids, and I'm
it's
like,
only
what
a few
is
months
going on?
before what happened as well.
Yeah, and I remember you running, stomping down, Mom, how do you feel? And the way he's doing is like a comedy show is going on. It's not even like he's upset about it or anything. And then he says, Mom, how do you feel if there's a hole in the wall? And I said, what do you mean hole in the wall? And I go upstairs, and I'm actually there right now, Nick. And I'm there. You are quieter one because you're quiet. But Ronan isn't. And then you two are behind me, and I walk into your room, and there is a hole, like not a big hole, like a small hole. It was that big, yeah? But it was down there. It's like literally, how did you both do that? But when I look at the hole, I'm not angry at all. I'm actually laughing. I think I laughed because he tried to hide that with our photo. Do you remember the big photo? He's just put his hoe. And I'm like, Ronan, how on earth did you think that this hole would be hidden by a photo that's all the way down? Like, it's not even on the, place. And I'm laughing, and I'm glad I laughed, because usually I get angry and upset about these things with you kids, and I used to like shout. But at that point, I didn't shout for I didn't shout. And then I repaired it. I remember repairing it when we decorated your room. But that story is an amazing story that every parent learn that is from that moment. Not everything is about getting angry at your child. Sometimes things happen by mistake as well.
I think it was the fact, what it was Ronan. You just can't get mad at him for more than like 5 minutes. Like, even, for example, we went to McDonald's and we had like caramel frappes in the car, and he was holding them in his lap, and I told him, don't hold them, put him in the cup holder. And he was like, no, I'm gonna hold them. And he had his phone, he was watching his phone in the passenger seat, obviously because I was driving. And I said, Ronan, hold it with 2 hands then. And he was like, yeah. And then obviously we braked at the traffic light, and they all fell on the floor. They were all, and I hit the fan, and I was so mad at him, and I was like, what is wrong with you? You're so stupid. I literally told you not to do that. And I was literally having a mentee bee over it in the, and then he was like, Didi, just get me a towel.
Yes.
And I was like, nah, you're an idiot. But I was just going on and on. I was like not shutting up. And he was like, and then he went, he got himself a towel, and I don't know how he did it, right? But I looked down and everything was sparkling clean. It looked like it was cleaner than before. And I was like, I was so angry, but I think I was partially angry because I felt like he proved me wrong. And I was like, yeah, I just didn't even say anything. And then I went into the car. So I went back into the house. And then I was like, okay. And then I apologized to him and asked him, do you want me to should we go and get some more? And I can't remember if we did or not. But yeah, I think he was just, you know what it was? He really was. And like, even Ria and like everyone has messaged me telling me about
Ria is Ronan's cousin.
That he was like, he just had this really calm like attitude, and he had the ability to make, like, we all worry over silly things, right? And I say silly things because they're silly now,
Yeah,
and I still worry about silly things now because I think that's just how I am. But he had the ability to make you forget about those silly little worries, like, you know, when I was stressed about uni,
yeah,
and it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why he was awake, and he called me. And I just remember we had the most stupidest conversation that siblings could have at like 4 o'clock. And then I just like remember thinking, I got the best brother ever. And I just went to sleep and I had no stress. I don't know how he did it, but he had the ability to make you feel at ease through anything. He was like the calm in the storm.
he was our calm in the storm. And I remember, you know, the things, Nick, I, as a mother, should have done. And there were real struggles when your kids were young. The struggles were real. So a single parent has to bring up 2 kids and trying to balance everything in her job, in her work, in her house, in her bills. It was hard. But no way I will do that over and over and over again without even giving it thought, honestly. Because whenever I left work, I came home to my 2 kids. The only 2 people I brought on this world. And I know they loved me for who I am.
Take a minute.
It's, you know, so you and Ronan gave me, you know, I was supposed to give you the safe space to you and Ronan, but it's more likely that you and Ronan gave me that space.
No, you definitely did.
No, I did. I'm not saying that I didn't. I did that for you kids, but honestly, you kids that did that for me, because I've had a difficult life to begin with. No, I was loved person by my mom. I was loved by my brothers.
Family.
But I lost my dad when I was 4 years old. Yeah. So I always craved for my dad, a male figure, you know, to look up to. And I always missed him because I think I had this relationship beyond, because you want dad, you know what I mean? And then I got married. It's been a difficult marriage. It was difficult, and I tried so hard, and I tried over and over. But in anything, everything, the best thing, and even your dad would say, the best thing that happened to us was you kids. Amazing kids. And I remember the struggles that you kids had to balance between your both parents, being a single mom in the house, and then you're going to see your dad. So there was difficulties for you kids as well. And that still, it was balanced between everything that was going on around us. We were still surrounded by love for each other. You, Ronan, and me, we have that love for each other. And you did have that love for your dad as well. And You know, if somebody says to me that what my life was like in one word, it was just pure love with you kids in it. Pure love. Just love. Nothing else I could say. There was laughter. There was angry mother, shouting mother. I remember shouting. Oh, do you remember when you would have the flower? What's it called? The crate?
Fifi.
Fifi flower. And I will put you kids that in a garden, and I would wash the dishes in the kitchen, and I'm looking at you both getting wet because Fifi's going crazy. Honestly, people need to look at the Fifi flower. It was so funny. And then I can see you drenched in water, both of you. And then
Do you remember we did the ice bucket challenge? That's so funny.
No, let me tell you ice bucket challenge in a bit. You can come to that. But then you and Ronan will walk into the garage, and I'm drying you both up so you both can go and have a shower. You know, that moment is more important than money, than gold, than diamonds, than anything on this earth. There is nothing on this earth comparable than the moments for a mother and a child. So that's one of the memories. I remember sitting by the kitchen watching you kids. So what do you remember about the ice bucket challenge?
It's funny, like the way we all did it, and then he nominated Mummy G and stuff. I thought that was really funny as well. I thought that's kind of he's a bit of a cheeky boy, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's very cheeky. Like he'd just say what's on his mind without giving a toss who's in the room.
Yeah, I think the people who know him.
Yeah, of course.
I think you shaped his character as well. I think you did. You shaped his character because you become a leader in front of him.
You know what it is, yeah. I really felt like he was the only person in the world that really cared about my feelings and my opinions. And it's quite special to have someone like that.
It is, because if you think about how we 16 years, come on. You've
He's
had
an
16 and a
incredible
half
boy.
years with that boy. You have to. He didn't have a one malicious bone in him.
He did. That's what actually, like, sometimes I'm thinking, why was he so good? I wish you did something like, not like obviously like extreme. I just wish he was more like naughty sometimes, because he was so good. And it's like, how can somebody so good meet with a fate like that? And that's what upsets me so much, because he was just that good.
Yeah, so we are gonna go now for today, but we will come back with more stories. So let's continue this conversation for the next time.